You can choose to stop it by doing something new. What? And let so-and-so off the hook, go scot-free? No. That might be what it looks like happens. But no, what you're doing is letting yourself off the hook so that you can walk away scot-free with freedom to behave in a non-addictive manner and to live your life in a state of peace instead of ongoing conflict. Only you are creating the conflict that you're experiencing. You are the one creating it by choosing to use your mind unintelligently for a purpose it is not there to serve. You can do it. You can imagine you're doing it. And you can behave based on that imagination. And you will experience the dissonance of attempting to do something it's not your birthright to do and therefore you cannot actually do. Or you can change your mind, as I've described. Food is there for you to enjoy. Food is there for you to enjoy. But it is not there to be used in a way that can seem to cause it to become your enemy. And it's not there for you to use in a way that causes you to become judgeable, I'll say, as someone who's out of balance. It's not your birthright. The question is for you to ask yourself, am I willing to continue to occupy my mind with thoughts I am bringing to it of judgment, hurt, blame, anger, frustration, conflict? Or am I, because I recognize that it's unproductive, going to start using my mind in a new way that seems to be irrelevant to the problem that I've been upset by? Am I going to move into a larger context in which the problem is no longer seen as a valid subject for me to address, so that I, in my right mind, might begin to enjoy my life, not on the terms of my ego, but on the terms of my being and my relationship to the source of my being, rather than my relationship to so-and-so with whom I have a grievance, you see? You can simply abandon unproductive and unintelligent mental actions. You can. You can just do it. You don't have to be able to justify it by saying, justice has been gotten, or I can't do it yet because justice hasn't been gotten. Whether justice has been gotten or not, you can abandon that use of your mind, and that's what is needed. You're going to have to pay attention to the use you put your mind to. You're going to have to pay attention to the ideas that you populate your mind with and the stream of consciousness that you allow to fill your mind up with, so that when you notice your preoccupation with your misery. You can say, whoop, I don't have to do this. I do not at this moment have to continue this, and I am going to give my attention to something else that isn't conflicted, and then do it. And do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, until the inclination not to do it doesn't present itself to you anymore. Okay.
Okay. Our next question is from Virginia. Thank you, Raj. I have a question about my artwork. I began painting quite suddenly 4 years ago and have been prolifically painting ever since. Am I joined with you when I paint? Are you with me?
I'm always with you. Sometimes you are joined with me, and sometimes you are not. And you do know the difference. It is my pleasure to be with you when you are joined, and I know that it is your pleasure to be with me when you are joined. Let creativity be a mutual adventure rather than a private accomplishment. And you will do beautiful work. Okay.
The next question is from Claudette. Thank you, Raj, for your presence in my life. Last November, our 15-year-old foster child chose to leave this plane. It was sudden, and I would like to ask if he knows we love him, and is he okay? I received 2 written messages. Were they from him? And also, as a follow-up, is it appropriate for us to take another foster child? Thank you so much.
The answer to all of your questions is yes. Unequivocal and wonderful yes. Okay. I will add, don't let anything stand in the way of your willingness to be the presence of love. Okay.
Our next question is from Heather. Thank you again, Raj and Paul, for being here when I need you. This last summer, I asked you a question concerning my relationship with my husband. At that time, you were fully supportive of our relationship, and I was so relieved to feel I was right where I belonged. My relationship with him is still very difficult at times. I don't know if this is a result of something I am doing, or if it is him. I would like to know what I need to do to help our relationship. Right now, I just feel like I am walking on eggshells. And just a second.
Well, Heather, walk on them solidly. Walk on them without regard for them. In other words, walk on the ground that's covered with eggshells as though they aren't there. Be yourself. Be direct, be straight. Love directly, love straightly. Say no directly, say yes directly. When you begin to move around gingerly, you make whoever you're with less comfortable. When you walk solidly, without apology, and I mean that in an attitude of kindliness and love and principle, You make everyone around you more comfortable. Sometimes they may not like what you say, but you know what? They're not uneasy with you because they know they can't trust you because something funny is going on because you're behaving so unlike yourself. What do you have up your sleeve? What are you not telling me? What's going on behind this tentativeness that isn't characteristic of you, of all people? Don't let your ego bully you into tentativeness, indirectness, silent carefulness. Your husband has never been with you in this relationship because you were anything other than really straight with him, really present as yourself. Now you can say no from love, and you can say yes from love. But by God, start walking heavily on the eggshells and stop being tentative. You are where you belong, and the two of you do belong together. But don't let your ego bully you into being not yourself, or finesse you into caution. You understand? Don't wait for things to get better. Be better in the relationship. Don't act as though there's something wrong that you're simply being yourself can't correct. Neither one of you are fragile. The relationship isn't fragile. Don't start behaving as though they are. That's the key. Don't start behaving as though you, either of you or the relationship, is fragile. Walk heavy. In other words, let your weight fully connect with the ground. Okay. I didn't say carry a big stick. I said, don't try to hover over the floor. Not quite making contact. If there are eggshells there, walk heavy on the floor. To hell with the eggshells. Okay.
I didn't actually have all of Heather's question. And then she said, I truly desire a better experience. I also feel like maybe I'm just expecting too much from him. Our baby is due sometime this week, and I really want to bring her into a healthy and happy environment. Thank you. I would like to add that if this question is not appropriate at this time, I would like to ask you about my mother's health. Thank you. I'm so grateful for any help you can offer.
Well, you just got it. You abide with the answer, implement it to the best of your ability, and you will bring this child into a relationship of honesty that will bless it. Okay.
The next question is from Bob. My question is about my relationship with my partner, Alan. For some time now, I feel like we've grown distant from each other. It's like we've drifted apart over the years. For the last few years, he's been obsessed with buying things online through eBay and spends all of his time on the computer. It hurts when I try to connect with him and just get an angry glare because I'm interrupting his computer time. The house is literally falling apart because we can't work together as a couple to make decisions about what we do. Many times I felt overwhelmed with it all and just want to pack up and leave him the whole mess. Other times I think we can get through this and that I should stick it out. So I'm totally confused what to do and would appreciate some clarity about the situation. Thank you.
Well, like the earlier question, shall we just not say anything about a corrupt government? It's like, when there's inequity, should we not say anything? Of course you're frustrated. Because the two of you have set up a context for being in each other's experience. And the context of it is that both of you want a relationship, an involvement. And if one of you is withdrawing from involvement, and if the expressed desire for involvement creates distress, well, it's not time for you to shut up. It's time for you to speak up and call for a vote, if you will. Call for him to declare himself whether or not involvement is what he wants. Because if involvement isn't what he wants, then it's inappropriate for the two of you to be existing in an arrangement that implies that there is involvement. If you are in an arrangement that implies involvement and there's not a mutual desire for involvement, you're living a farce. That should be uncomfortable. And so you need to speak up and speak up and speak up until you get a declaration from him, a clear declaration from him. It's not appropriate to just be mealy-mouthed and quiet and suffer through it. It's not appropriate. Call for the involvement that your arrangement says should be there. You don't have to be unkind, but you're going to have to be clear. You're going to have to speak in a way that says you won't override your integrity by continuing to be in a situation where it appears as though there's a relationship and there isn't. And you're calling for the relationship to be reinvigorated, re-established. That's what you want. And you call for that. You call for involvement. You draw him into involvement. You ask him to join you in involvement. Not 100% devotion to you and you alone, but a normal give and take involvement. And you continue to call for it in one way or another, invitingly, but firmly, until he says, no, I am not interested. It is not what I want anymore. I'm doing what I want to be doing, or whatever he says. And then, with that clarity in hand, you stop having the arrangement that looks like there's a relationship going on, so that you're not constantly disappointed when a relationship or involvement doesn't happen. So you're going to have to become clear and verbalize it. It doesn't serve you in any way to be a martyr. That isn't what's called for here. It's like sitting at a chessboard or a checkerboard, and you've made your move, and it's your partner's move, and 3 months goes by, and no move is made. You call for a move, and you call for a move, and you call for a move. You push for a move, because the two of you are sitting at the board engaged in a game, a relationship of actions. And you demand the move, you call for the move, until he says, okay, and moves, or he says, I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to be involved in this involvement. But don't let hazy nebulousness exist. Call for clarity in terms of action. Action that embodies involvement. Let it be that simple. Because if that simple clarity isn't present, there's no basis for you to appear to be in a relationship. Okay.
Our next question is from Nancy. Please discuss the true purpose of animals as you see them. Would you advise us to get a dog? If so, a particular one, or what kind, where? Any comments you want to share regarding previous or future pets is appreciated.
Everything is for enjoyment. Pets, animals, trees. Your fellow man, the stars. There is nothing present. There is nothing that exists that does not have at its bottom line an intention of love and joy, and therefore pleasure, do you know what? If you're attracted to having a dog, then keep your eyes open. What kind should you get? Well, I'm going to suggest that you not have a specific kind to look for, but you be open to having one, and let your love and your willingness identify it. And even more, let it identify itself to you. You could say, oh, I want a poodle because they're small and they don't ruin the furniture, they fit into our lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, ordering from a catalog. What fits? It's like going to an artist and saying, you know what? I would like you to paint a picture that coordinates with the colors in our living room, which is the most ridiculous request to make of an artist. Don't get a mail-order dog. Be present so that you can notice the dog that's willing to be present with you, because you'll find a heart response. Don't try to be in control of it. That's all I have to say about it. And we will take another 10-minute break.